Every year, the African diaspora sends over $95 billion back home. Let that number sink in. It's staggering. In 2024, that figure was equal to all the foreign direct investment the entire continent received. And to be clear, a huge chunk of that foreign direct investment, or FDI, went to a single country, meaning for much of the continent, remittances were the biggest source of capital. For decades, this has been the story. Money sent home for school fees, medical bills, to build a family house, or just to keep the lights on. It's a story of love, of obligation, of deep connection, but it's not the full story anymore. There is a quiet revolution happening, a seismic shift in the mindset from being a consumer to becoming an owner. The smart diaspora is up to the fact that while sending money home helps people survive, investing money at home is what builds generational wealth. They see that Africa isn't just a place of heritage or charity. It's a serious investment market, a gold mine of opportunity if you know where to look. This is about moving past remittances to claim your stake in Africa's economic boom. And if you have only been thinking about sending money, you are missing the biggest opportunity of our lifetime. Now, don't get me wrong. Remittances are an absolute lifeline. They are a stable, resilient source of cash for many African economies, often more dependable than foreign aid. This money flows support millions of families and strengthen the real economy from ground up. But here is the crucial difference we need to grasp. Remittances are mostly for consumption. They solve today's problems. Investment, on the other hand, is for growth. It's about putting capital into assets that generate returns, create jobs, and build industries for tomorrow. For too long, the conversation about the diaspora's financial power has landed at the money transfer office or kiosk. We send a few $100s, it gets turned into local currency, and is gone in few days. The value is immediate, but it's also temporary. Just imagine for a second if even a fraction of that 95 billion was strategically invested into productive parts of the economy. We are not just talking about helping one family. We are talking about founding the businesses that could employ an entire community. This is a shift from a mindset of obligation to one of opportunity. It's about going from passive supporter to an active player in the continent's growth. The African Union gets it. It has officially recognized the diaspora as Africa's sixth region, a global community of estimated 170 million people seen as a strategic partner for growth. This isn't about sending money anymore. It's about sending capital to work. The smart money is moving from simple transfers to structured investments, and that changes everything. So, where are these opportunities? Where is the smart diaspora capital flowing? The answer is this. It is flowing into the high growth sectors that are reshaping the African continent. Let's start with technology. The African technology scene is exciting. Even with a recent global founding winter, the ecosystem is proving to be incredibly resilient. Fintech is still the star player, with companies totally changing the game in mobile banking, payments, and credit. But that's just the beginning. We are seeing huge growth in HealthTech, bringing virtual healthcare to remote areas, and ClimateTech, with a surge of investment in renewable energy and sustainable farming, especially since Africa is estimated to hold 60% of the world's available uncultivated arable land business. And I don't mean small-scale farming. I mean industrial-scale opportunity. Africa's food market is on track to be worth a jaw-dropping $1 trillion by the year 2030. Right now, the continent spends billions importing food it could be growing itself. That gap is massive, opening for investment in food processing, cold storage to prevent waste, and agri-tech to boost crop yields. These aren't just feel-good projects. They are serious commercial ventures that build wealth while tackling food security. And of course, we have to talk about real estate and infrastructure. Rapid across Africa is also fueling historic demand for housing, offices, and modern infrastructure. Cities like Douala, Addis Ababa, and Cairo are booming. We are seeing the rise of PropTech, that's property technology, using digital tools to make real estate deals more transparent and secure, which is a game changer for the diaspora investors. Beyond buildings, there is an estimated infrastructure funding gap of over 100 billion every single year, creating huge opportunities in energy, transport, and data centers. From manufacturing and green energy to tourism, the list goes on. The smart diaspora investor isn't throwing money at random projects. They are targeting these high growth sectors where the potential for financial return and real world impact is strongest. Making this jump takes more than just having the cash. It takes a whole new mindset. It's about learning to see the continent not just with your heart, but with the sharp eyes of an investor. The consumer mindset asks, how much can I send to help out? The investor mindset asks, where can I put this capital to get the best possible return? This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you channel that care into something that lasts. Instead of just sending your cousin money for rent, you invest in a smart business idea that has a real plan for growth. This shift involves three key changes. First, you stop thinking in one-off payment and start thinking in long-term assets. An asset is something that puts money back into your pocket over time. It could be a rental property, a piece of promising startup, or shares in a company on a local stock exchange like the West African BR, which has seen periods of impressive growth. If, in case you are not aware, EM is the regional stock exchange that serves 8 member countries of the West Africa Economic and Monetary Union. Those 8 nations are Burkina Faso, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Guinea-Bissau, Mali, Niger, Senegal, and Togo. Second, you let strategy win over emotion. Emotional investing is hotleads to founding a cousin's doomed to fail business or sending money to relatives with zero accountability. A strategic investor does their homework. They research the market, vet the opportunity, and have clear expectations for a return. It's the difference between founding a lifestyle and founding a business. Third, you learn to embrace calculated risk. Let's be real, investing in Africa, that it has risks. Currency swings, political drama, and red tape are no joke. But in the consumer of just sending money, it has a risk too, 100% guarantee of zero financial return. The investor market knows that the risk can be managed, so you can lower it by using trusted platforms, diversifying and partnering with experienced people on the ground. The goal isn't to avoid all risk. The goal is to manage it smartly for a short at a major reward. All right, now let's talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people in the diaspora are hesitant to invest, and for good reason. We have all heard the horror stories, deals that go south, money that vanishes, and projects that never got off the ground. These aren't just stories. They are challenges that have made investing from abroad feel like a gamble. But the landscape is changing, and it's changing fast. A whole ecosystem is popping up to solve these exact problems of trust, structure, and access. You no longer have to rely on a relative to be your project manager. There are now professional, transparent ways to invest. For example, we are seeing the rise of diaspora platforms, investment platforms. Major banks like UBA have dedicated diaspora banking services to help you invest. There are specialist platforms focused on real estate and crowd investing vehicles that let you buy into vetted startups and businesses. These platforms provide a crucial layer of due diligence and professional management. Another powerful tool is the diaspora bond. Governments in countries like Nigeria and Ethiopia have issued these bonds to raise money for big national projects like roads and power plants. Nigeria's 2017 diaspora bond, for instance, raised $300 million and was oversubscribed. So many people wanted in. These bonds let you invest in your country's development while earning a return through a secure, regulated product. The point is, you don't have to go it alone anymore. The solution to the trust problem is to use the new infrastructure being built. Explore the platforms, investigate the funds, and consider the bonds. These tools are designed to de-risk your investment and give you the transparency that you deserve. Shifting from being a consumer to an investor is a journey. It requires a new way of thinking, fresh knowledge, and solid strategy. This is your starting point, but building real generational wealth needs a detailed roadmap. It's a step-by-step guide for Africans abroad who are serious about this. It dives deeper into spotting the right opportunities, building your investment strategy, vetting partners, and handling the practical details of putting your money to work back home. If you are ready to move beyond sending money and want to start building a legacy of wealth and impact, you need to get this book. If you're an African in the diaspora serious about wealth and influence, get your copy of the Diaspora Principle now. Learn how to turn your connection into strategy for investing in Africa's most promising opportunities. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe so that you can see my next video. And thanks for supporting this channel, Diaspora African Success. The story of Africa and its diaspora is changing for good. We are moving from a narrative of aid and dependency to one of investment ownership. The continent is a goal of opportunity, but only for those who show up with a smart plan, some discipline, and the right information. The river of capital flowing from the dam will keep getting stronger. The real question is, will that capital be spent on temporary relief, or it will be invested to build businesses, create jobs, and generate wealth for generations? The smart diaspora is choosing wealth. They are using new platforms and financial tools to take part in Africa's growth story directly. They are building wealth for themselves and their families while fueling the economic engine of the continent they call home. This is your moment to shift your mindset, to see the incredible opportunity waiting beyond the remittances slip, and to claim your stake in Africa's future. Don't send money, but invest it.